Osama surprisingly does not tell the story of Bin Laden. Instead, it's a film about a family in Afghanistan going through some serious troubles. Women are forced to stay at home, but this one particular family has lost all of their men and have no choice but to disguise their daughter as a boy so she can go out, get a job and help support them. The movie is then her disguised as a lad called Osama, hiding from the Taliban and trying to keep her gender hidden, until eventually being discovered and sold as a bride to this old pervert. It's kind of like the adult version of Mulan. This was actually the first film shot in Afghanistan since 1996, after the Taliban had completely outlawed it. Director Sadiq Barmak found inspiration when he read the story of a small girl who dressed like a boy to attend school before being discovered, and other elements from other different stories were added during the making of the film. Most of the cast weren't experienced actors, just people found on the streets, and the filmmaker was actually helped by Iranian director Mohsen Makhmalbaf, who provided him with $100,000 funding and all of the equipment. And the ending was actually vastly different in the original cut. You see, this movie has this whole rainbow analogy speech. Wow, they actually predicted the future. Good call. Yeah, they repeat the exact same speech all over again twice for some reason. I have no idea why. And the second time it just kind of stops randomly. I guess the second half wasn't nearly as interesting. But because of this speech, the movie was originally titled Rainbow, and was going to end with her walking under one and finally escaping to her freedom, but the director actually hated this uplifting ending, and instead had her taken hostage by an abusive older husband, and he even cut out several other scenes that expressed any kind of hope for the character. Sounds like a very happy man. The movie was universally loved, especially within Western cinema, and grossed an insane $3.8 million on a budget of just $46,000. There are some weird moments that kind of blurs the lines between feature film and documentary when people film and get shut down in the process. Cut. Cut. Just cut! The music is really ominous and adds to the tension of the film. I mean, it shows the hardships of living in Afghanistan really well. It honestly is an eye-opener. Oh, you're a dick.
بچه گلم خانه رفتی زودتر بخوای پس بیای پیش ما سر کارت.
خدا وسیله تکنه.
زنده باشی خدا مهربان است مادر.
Except that time he slaughtered all of the Egyptian babies, but we'll leave that bit out. What is it with this film showing long sequences of movement for no reason? I will admit though, the movie is amazing at building suspense without the use of music too. She hides from the Taliban fearing for her capture and death, and you really do root for her survival. Okay, this suddenly turned into a completely different kind of movie. The kids all look horrified by this, except this one dumbass who seems to get aroused by a fat, hairy old guy teaching them to wash their nuts. What the hell's up with him? Well, masturbation's a sin, so why would God want to teach anyway to clean up your jizz? Oh, and this scene lasts nearly 5 minutes. Is this really a necessity in Islam to teach kids how to clean up after a wet dream? And then Osama enters, and there is a lot of suspense as she has to now strip and wash without revealing the truth. Could this get any more disturbing?
Please, let me touch your feet.
Oh, yes, I can. So naturally, the kids all suspect that she's a girl, but for some reason don't just check. No, instead one kid defends Osama and proclaims that she's a boy, and then they take the time to kick his ass instead of just checking for a penis. Oh, and I am not even joking. They test her gender by forcing her to climb a tree. Because obviously girls can't climb trees. Also, why isn't anyone questioning, hey Osama, if you're really a boy, just get your dick out? And if it's something to do with Islam, and I'm just not aware of it, my life? Religion. But as she's stuck at the top of the tree, you do really feel for her. She gets surrounded by people yelling abuse. As punishment, she even gets hanged down a well. This is horrifying to watch. It really is. This movie is incredibly well made, and the storytelling is impeccable. It is scarily realistic. But oh no, her sexy feet are covered in blood, the bastards. And only then do they decide to check her foof to realise the truth, but they still let her run away. These guys suck. Get on with it! Do something! This movie's only 80 minutes long. How are you still padding out this much time? And then the old guy buys her. Man, Islam's fucked up. But, couldn't she have just jumped off the back and ran to freedom? I mean, look how slow this horse or donkey or whatever is going. That there's nothing stopping her just getting off and running away. I mean, she did it earlier, so just stupid. But honestly, it really is just heartbreaking to see her being locked up. And like I said, it's truly eye-opening and really makes you realise how lucky a lot of us have it when others have to go through events like this every single day. And back to more skipping. Whatever, the movie's over. The film is incredibly well put together, but boy is it depressing. I see why they made it that way. It is a very powerful piece of film and incredibly accurate. It's just very difficult to watch at times. I'm not ready for the next one. I don't know about you guys.